Hey, what's up, wrestling fans? My name is Big Joe Yarbrough, wrestling's biggest muscle man by at least 60 pounds, and I'm here to the huskest to my pig.
Dylan Pack, and today we are on Wednesday Night Wars, week number 6.
6, baby.
This has been such an exciting time for me to be able to cover wrestling and cover AEW versus NXT. So today, you guys know the drill. We're gonna be going over NXT's match card along with AEW's match card, going match by match, segment by segment, and giving each one of them kind of a grade. And we're gonna come together at the end and see which one won.
That's right. We've got a pretty good record again. AEW beat NXT in the ratings. It was a very low one due to the Game 7, so under the millions for the first time for AEW, but still a victory nonetheless. But we have so much to cover, including a week of some travel issues with Saudi Arabia for, leading up to this Friday Night SmackDown, which launched an NXT assault. So we all saw NXT multiple times leading up to Wednesday. We'll see how it kind of did for us storyline-wise. All that and more here on the dgenerationxl podcast, where we bring you all things wrestling
all around the world.
Break it down! Degenerate into something fool. We just got tired of doing what you told us to do. That's a break, boy. Yeah, that's a break, little man. Break it down.
And we're back here at the dgenerationxl podcast. I am really excited here because, as you can see, wrestling has gotten me energized, and I am ready. I'm just a little husky little piggy boy.
Is this better than DDP? Why?
I don't know why.
DDP, why, or Wyatt Gym? Where are you going?
I do have a membership to Wyatt Gym. They had a little offer. Got a shirt and a headband and a shaker for my water and protein shakes, and they gave me a fanny pack that doesn't fit around this fanny. No, but it's pretty tight. So, where's yours?
In the mail, dude.
So we'll get to it. Well, hopefully you guys could comment and see if you want to see these little pig boys do some DDP yoga.
I'm in the Wyatt Gym.
At the Wyatt Gym
merch.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get right into it here, diving into NXT and AEW. We're gonna launch right into the whole card of AEW. This is the go-home show for Full Gear that's happening this Saturday, November 9th. And what a card that we have. We have finally the face-off of Moxley versus Omega, unsanctioned, because Jon Moxley is unsanctionable.
Yeah. John and Kenny Omega had a promo on this week's Dynamite talking about, of course this is unsanctioned. Do you think you're going to get in the ring with me and chain wrestle? Like, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, you should be happy that it's like this way. That's the only chance you have.
We're playing in your playground, is basically what Kenny Omega said. Like, you can't even stand up in my ring.
Yeah, that's amazing. We've got the Young Bucks going against the Proud and Powerful.
Yeah.
We have Adam Page trying to get his revenge on Pac. We have an amazing title defense from SCU, a triple threat tag match, which is probably going to blow the doors off.
Yeah. Oh,
SCU versus Lucha Brothers versus now the bronze medal winners of the tournament, Private Party.
That's going to be the show stealer. I would bet my whole paycheck right now that match is the best match of the entire week.
I wouldn't bet against it. And to headline it, we have Cody, who added a stipulation to the AEW championship match against Le Champion, Chris Jericho. And so we'll dive right into it. We are kicking off AEW's Dynamite with Pac going up against Trent from the Best Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, singles competition.
And the Best Friends have one of the best entrance musics
of
all time.
Dun, 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 dun.
I love it. I love the Titantron, that people holding hands, they hold hands. And Orange Cassidy really brings this together for me.
It really does. Like, honestly, I thought they were going to be like a flash in the pan, and adding Orange Cassidy to them is brilliant because they come out and people already kind of pop for him. But the second Orange Cassidy just walks out, the crowd pops. He's become like cult figure. Part of it is just like the flack he gets from the cornets of the world, that those fans are just like, dude, we don't like old school buff, Dallas Buffington from Tala, Texas. We like
Tallahassee, Texas.
Yeah, we like art and comedy and all these things, and Orange Cassidy brings all of that.
All of it.
So I think you just get these fanatics that are all about AEW really showing what wrestling's all about. It's really great.
One quick note before we move on. I've noticed that this, in my opinion, has brought more divisiveness from wrestling fans than bringing us together. I feel like AEW is supposed to bring all the wrestling fans together and to just enjoy wrestling together. But now we've got WWE marks going up against AEW marks head-to-head on social media
We should
every day.
We should just get a 5-on-5 going.
I'm in.
Head-to-head. AEW marks versus WWE marks versus NWA marks. Like that studio wrestling. No, I agree, but I disagree. I think that people who were just casual fans defend the product, but they've never actually, like, I've noticed a lot of people that talk
Defend
about
which product?
WWE.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like a lot of times when I actually interface with these people, and it's not in the hostile way, like I'm just like listening to them, they go like, "This is stupid. I just saw a clip of this guy on Twitter, and it's stupid." It's like, you didn't even watch the product.
Yeah.
Like, that's super biased.
The worst one I saw yesterday, and we're going to get off topic just a second. The worst one I saw yesterday was somebody saying that AEW should sign Sexy Star.
Oh,
After what she did to Rosemary.
that's rough. That's bad for business.
Bad for business.
Yeah, no,
They got into arguments with all these people about how that was like staged.
No, dude, that's
I was like,
no, that kind of killed her career. And on top of that, that's a WWE move right there.
oh yeah.
Let's get someone that's almost hurt another person. Let's just sign them and make them a face, and then everyone has to bow down to them. Like,
Yeah, that would be bad.
will you work Saudi Arabia 2 times a year?
She would.
Bien. Oh, perfect.
Bien.
Great. So,
Good.
so yeah. Anyway,
Anyway.
we got Trent working Pac, and Trent really brought it.
Yeah, he surprised me today.
Each week, I really think that I'm seeing more of Trent. I'm thinking, man, he really could shine. Chucky Taylor too, but like Trent also has the physique as well.
Mm-hmm.
And man, he was bringing his own against Pac, and I'm loving that they're still getting their gimmicky parts in there, but still following storyline. Like Chucky Taylor distract the ref the whole time trying to get in the ring, while Orange Cassidy just got to stand in the ring and try to give those brutal leg kicks
Yeah.
to Pac, and Pac just lit him up.
I would pay a lot of money to have Orange Cassidy kick me.
I don't know if you'd be able to survive.
Probably not.
No, probably
I
not.
definitely don't have calves like Pac.
No, that's your legs would explode.
Yeah, for sure.
But we got Pac coming over here clean. He hits the black arrow, and it looks like a questionable 2 count. But immediately
Yeah.
he switches right into his submission
The
move,
brutalizer.
the brutalizer, and Trent just passes out and rings the bell.
Yeah, I felt like there was 2 botches in this finish. The botch with the 3 count, I feel like Trent definitely didn't kick out if you go watch, which is going to deduct some points for me on today's ranking. But also on the submission, Trent Beretta was still kind of fighting and did not say like I quit or anything when the ref rang the bell. Then after the ref rang the bell, he was like, oh shit, like passed out.
Yeah.
So it was kind of botchy both times, which kind of upset, like it kind of bummed me out.
I think it would have been a referee thing where the referee knew he needed to get that spot, but they were running on time.
Maybe.
So that might have been a thing. But again, that's what we have here. Next up, we had the epic entrance of Cody, the only one that gets to come from the floor.
Doesn't matter if he's wrestling or not.
No.
Doesn't give a damn.
So he comes out, comes up from the floor to come and finally give his career announcement. And the career announcement, he cuts what has to be AEW's version and his personal version of the hard times of his father, shades of his dad, and basically tells Jericho that, calls him out. And it's such a good fourth wall kind of breaking, not knowing what scripted, not scripted shoot promo of calling Jericho out, saying like, I don't know much about Jericho, but he says that I'm a spoiled bee, and I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. And I read his book, which you can read, buy on Amazon for $3 or find it at any flea market.
Yeah.
And he's like, and you had such a tough upbringing. Let's talk about it. I mean, it must have been really hard growing up being the son of a famous hockey player, and just we share the same spoon.
Yeah.
You like read a book, you stupid dick, and then he like goes on to then cut this scathing promo against Jericho, saying that I need to prove that I'm undeniable and that I deserve this, and then adds a stipulation: if I lose to Jericho at Full Gear, I will never challenge for the AEW Heavyweight Championship again.
Yeah, because people were giving him flack for being in management and getting a title shot.
Amazing.
This promo gave me chills.
It literally
and
gave
brought
me
a
chills.
tear to Joe's eye.
I was tearing up.
This is how strong this promo was. And I mean, Cody learned from the best,
Yeah.
from Dusty,
Oh, yeah.
So this promo really, really brought it. And wow, I forget, like, Cody should not be as great a talker he is, seeing as like he has that lisp, you know? And I feel like people wouldn't take him as serious, but man, that dude knows how to command a crowd.
He commanded them. They were in the palm of their hands. And he kind of made it where, man, I want to see him beat Cody. I want to see Cody beat Jericho.
Oh, yeah.
And really, it's a 50-50 because you're like, man, is he going to lose? They're going to make Jericho take the belt of Jericho that soon? Is Cody going to drop the belt? But we're going to get more into that as well. Next up, we have the highlight of AEW, the tag team division. We have the Dark Order versus Private Party, and Private Party always shows up.
Yeah, they have not had a bad match yet.
No.
These guys put on a show every single night. And I'm actually I was off on the Dark Order until this match. They kind of stepped it up today.
Yep. They had more fluidity today.
Yeah, for
where
sure.
I felt like before they just kind of brutalized, heel things, and then like just random spots more than anything.
Yeah.
They really showed more fluidness in their match, and we got an awesome clean fluid finish. Private Party hits gin and juice. One
of my favorite finishers right now.
Oh yeah, on Stu Grayson, and it's 1, 2, 3. They're going to be going on to Full Gear. A great match, just a great match. It wasn't even just a good match. It was an all right match. It was a great match. Private Party is entertaining.
Yeah, had a standoff at the end of the match with SCU, Private Party, and Lucha Brothers.
Way to story build.
Way to story build. This match was a very good, not match. This show is a very good go home show for.
I think
Full Gear.
it was especially for their kind of first go home show. Mm-hmm. It's really good. Next up, we have Riho and a newly signed for 3 years, Shayna, who
Great signing.
Yeah, great signing from France, but is the Portuguese prestige athlete or
Portuguese perfection, something like that.
So anyway, but her and Riho are taking on Jamie Hayter and what we like to deem
Sakura.
Sakura.
She's bad.
Sakura's bad. Who she trained, I have no idea.
She trained all the women's wrestlers on what not to do.
Yeah, the gimmick of first of all, the girl's botchy, and I pointed out she botched her entrance. She went to do the mic thing, and then she went to grab the mic, missed the mic, and flipped it around. And I'm like, this homegirl can't even get the entrance not botched.
The mustache threw me off.
That's it. I'm just not a fan of Sakura, and she doesn't have an amazing move set. She kind of moves slow. She doesn't know how to really work the crowd. She works the crowd like an 80s wrestler, but not an 80s wrestler that's trying to wrestle in 2020 or 2019. Like an 80s wrestler trying to wrestle in the 80s. Constantly
she is that old.
Yeah, like randomly just throwing someone into the corner and an Irish whip and then slapping her legs and going like, hey! You're like, no one knows what you're doing.
Who does that remind you of?
Natalia.
Yeah.
And it's awful.
It's bad.
It's awful. She's just like... Anyway, they're building up this match, and they had a cool exchange, Riho and Sakura, for some pinfalls and stuff like that.
Yeah, out of nowhere. That was fantastic.
That was fantastic chain wrestling, and Sakura comes away with the win. And
over the champion.
Over the champion. And so it's a good build-in to Riho kind of seeing that she has a viable competitor who pinned her.
If Sakura wins, I'm going to be pissed.
I will be too. I will be too. After this, we get a hinting of a couple things. We get 2 packages, and we didn't even get this one down. The first package was phenomenally done. It was out of nowhere, we hear Jim Ross, and I love this about the show. It reminds me of those NWO, WCW days. Like, we've got a video here. We've not seen the video, but it's from the Inner Circle in Jericho. We're going to play it for you. Again, we've not seen this, so we apologize in advance. And the video starts, and here's just Jericho sitting at the table. Same music from Cody's video that he has with his wife. And he just word for word, like shot for shot, remakes this video just mocking Cody. And one of the best ones was it's starting, and Sammy Guevara comes up and he goes, hey, Chris, like we got 2 different types of bubbly, and we kind of need to figure out which one you want to do for the after party. This one's lower in calories, but this one has more bubbles and tastes better. And it's, I just think that, if we're winning, we should just, and all of a sudden, like, the sound drowns out, and he just goes, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
And he stands up and then kisses Sammy Guevara on the cheek, just like he did for his wife. And then it was so great. You get Virgil in there. You get Chris Jericho's aunt's friend from church. You have, and they don't even call Virgil Virgil. They call him, what do they call him? I don't know. They didn't call him Meat Sauce Mike. They called him something else.
No, they didn't. I don't remember.
But yeah, they had him in there. Jake Hager says nothing.
That was gold.
That was gold. He just keeps going. Then he just goes. This is so great. Off the cuff, Jericho brings comedy, but also brings a seriousness as Le Champion.
Yeah.
And he even jokes at the end. He goes, Cody's out here. He's going to have to go to meetings. He's going to have to go to press conferences. But me, I'm going to have to bear the weight of knowing where I'm going to get a little bit of the bubbly after I beat him.
What a cheap pop.
It's such a cheap pop, dude. I love it. A great package. And then we get another package from, again, kind of, I don't know if it's a new gimmick, but Brandy Rhodes is doing this kind of new, I don't know, it has something to do with Awesome Kong.
I haven't caught on yet.
Yeah, I don't know if they're just really pulling it, but there's some storytelling to be made there. But this week it kind of got me a little bit more interested. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah?
Last week I was like, was it just for Halloween? It was so creepy. But I think they're trying to do some kind of witch thing where it's like maybe she has control of Awesome Kong and she's using her brains and her brawn together. They're unstoppable. All this kind of stuff. She did cut a great promo about, you guys tell me because of Cody, because of my ability, because of my name, this is where I'm at. But I'm here to prove to you that it's not that, kind of thing. And at the end, you'll see you're the bullies.
She's a great talker.
She's a phenomenal talker. She was a backstage, person for WWE.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good time. Next up, we get a rare appearance. We get the chairman, Shawn Spears, on a main show.
Finally.
He was on Dark on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And he's got some wins now. He's
Yeah.
accumulating these wins. And on Dark, if you didn't watch, the only segment we saw a flashback to was after his Dark segment, him and Tully Blanchard are out to murder people. And I like this gimmick that they're going to run with. Like, I almost killed Cody with a chair on my debut. And then on top of that, he tried to pull Joey Janela's tongue out with pliers.
It was awful.
You didn't like it?
No, I liked it, but it was brutal.
Yeah. It's just like that is.
I loved it, but it was like, oh, that's.
Yeah, so here he is going up against Brandon Cutler. Okay, match. Again, feeling rough for my former D&D brethren.
Yeah.
Who's just taking the L's. But Shawn gets the win over him, but then it doesn't stop Shawn. Shawn gets the chair thrown in from Tully Blanchard. I love this brutalizing.
Yeah.
That we're here to show people that we're not here to mess around. We're here to hurt people. And Tully Blanchard is just a good manager.
Yes, he is.
Just a good manager. Good manager.
Joey Janela came in at one point and just furthering that. So we now have Shawn Spears and Joey Janela in an actual storyline feud.
Yep.
Which I'm very down for. I think those two could put on a great storytelling match. Mm-hmm. And I think that they'll be awesome moving forward.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see what happens, especially more Shawn Spears, because I think he had a lot of momentum coming in. I think it kind of died out, but I think it's still a chance to rekindle and build some more on this.
Yeah.
See the chairman. I'm sorry.
Yep.
We close out the show of AEW with Hangman Adam Page doing his cowboy crap with his brethren Kenny Omega, and they go up against Sammy Guevara, the Spanish God, and Le Champion, Chris Jericho. And this was a great match.
It was a good match. Again, it was a good match until there was no finish.
There was a finish.
We didn't know there was no finish.
There was a finish. I'm pretty sure there was. There was a pinfall.
No, you even made the comment, another week with no finish.
No, that was NXT.
Who was the winner then?
It was Jericho and Sammy. Jericho and Sammy won. They pinned him, remember, and then they started beating him up.
That's right.
There's been no finishes here in AEW.
Yeah,
we don't do that.
Wins and losses matter.
Wins and losses matter. They can't have no contest.
Jericho hit the Judas effect.
That's right. Remember, he hit a brutal one on Adam
Page. Yeah. Okay, I remember now. I'm getting him confused.
Yeah, NXT again, no finish.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But
yes, this was a very good match.
Yeah, and he hit a brutal Judas effect on Adam Page. He just is like, here you go.
You saw him sparring in like the one of the backstage video segments. And he's not even practicing punches. He's literally just doing the Judas effect over and over again.
I love it. Okay. But great match. And this really the highlight of the show was the ending. It's just chaos. They're beating down on Adam Page, beating down on Kenny Omega. And sure enough, Cody Rhodes is coming out and he's trying to go out there and get some like action in this. And then out of nowhere, from behind, MJF cracks Jake Hager in the back with a chair. Cracks Jericho, throws him in the ring, and him and Cody go at it. But then out of nowhere again, we get the Proud and Powerful. The whole Inner Circle comes out laying waste to the Elite. But then we get the Young Bucks coming out to help come after the Proud and Powerful, just to set up these matches that are coming on. This head-to-head, almost their own type of Survivor Series of the Elite versus this Inner Circle.
Basically, what this ending did for me was just remind me of the storylines going on and getting me hyped up to actually see these matches take place at full gear. So it was a great way, in my opinion, to end a show. You did get a finish, plus you got the story continuing for each of these feuds going into the pay-per-view.
And it showed that there was so much interwebbing and so many like still kind of questions. Like out of nowhere, we get this match of the Inner Circle versus the Elite. And then out of nowhere through the crowd, we get Jon Moxley with a barbed wire baseball bat saying, I'm just showing up to the fight. There's a fight. I'm here. And him and Kenny have a standoff. Next thing you know, Kenny's got a barbed wire broom. And before they can go out, the Proud and Powerful interrupt.
Beat up both of them.
Then you get, Jon Moxley taking out some of the Inner Circle or taking out Pac. And then going right back at it with Kenny Omega. It's just this whole thing of like, I don't like you. And it's beautiful storytelling. It shows Jon Moxley is unhinged. He's unscripted. He's unsanctionable. He's just out there just fighting. And the Elite hates the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle hates the Elite. It's this power struggle of we're the draws and you're the suits. And it really divides fans in a way where it's like, man, it's great. And realistically, again, another week, the fans make AEW. They're loud. They're popping.
Wow.
They're booing the heels. They're cheering the fans. It's like they have respect. Here's what I was thinking about. I think it's such a big deal, and the fans do that because the fans have respect for AEW storytelling because AEW storytelling has respect for the fans.
Oh, yeah.
They don't give you wonky finishes. They don't give you these unpredictabilities, and they give it where it says, that makes sense, where they can go, oh, I didn't see that. I was telling him, like, dude, how are they going to do this? I think it's too soon to take Jericho. And then I asked you, wait a minute, does it say if he doesn't win the belt or if he doesn't win? And we had to read it, so then when I said, what's probably going to happen, it's a good storytelling is, if somebody turns on Cody and hits him, technically Jericho's DQ'd. He keeps the belt, but Cody wins. So he can go back for the title again, and it builds a whole nother storyline. And it gets him away from the title picture without him losing. It gives Jericho a loss, but it's a DQ loss.
And then it's him and MJF. Oh,
yeah, like I was saying, if MJF turned on Cody and caused a DQ, I thought that might be great because then it's just that's a high-profile storyline feud going in, and it could lead open doors to now if the Inner Circle has MJF, they need another person to help them out when Dustin's hand heals, and what better place to look than beyond the grave to some of your dead friends to a villain like Marty Scurll. That's why there's so many options, and it's like, wow, this could make sense. But yeah, AEW was great. Moving on to NXT.
Yeah. AEW has been great every week. I don't think I've seen a bad AEW yet. But NXT also had its fair share of great moments this week. We start off NXT by going, we get a backstage segment where the OC's walking up into the building. Undisputed Era is walking up into the building of NXT, and the OC comes from the side and just mauls these dudes. Luke Gallows actually grabs, I think it was Bobby Fish, and slams him into this crate. And just fake blood all over the crate.
Spits fake blood everywhere.
I loved it. Obviously fake, but it was just so funny. It was so awesome to watch. And next up, we get the OC coming through the crowd to get into
Full Sail,
into the ring. They cut a promo on NXT, and it was just cool to see the OC on NXT.
Yeah, it's good. I wish we saw more WWE superstars.
That was the bummer for me.
I was like, dude. The OC's the only ones that show up for Undisputed Era. I'm like, so you're telling me Becky Lynch, the queen of showing up on other people's shows, doesn't come and take out Shayna?
So many people got their ass kicked on the WWE shows.
Like Becky didn't come. Bayley didn't come for Retribution with Sasha Banks. Why didn't all these people? Why didn't Sami Zayn come back to NXT?
Oh, that would have been
a pop. It would have been a pop if he came after somebody. It's like. That was my only kind of down it. But Champa comes to talk about the OC, and he cuts a great promo.
Yeah, Ciampa's always fantastic on the mic. So we set up a match at the main event of NXT. It's going to be the OC versus Team Champa, which is Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, and the original bro, Matt Riddle.
Bro. Also, Ciampa, one of the best things I think we ever lived was, first of all, the crowd chanting Daddy's Home is really great.
Yes.
But when he opens his promo by saying, time and time again, people ask Champa, when are
this
you
was
going
golden.
to the main roster? OC, let me be the first to welcome you to the main roster. And I was like, oh. And he goes, NXT has been the show, is the show, and will continue to be the show. And if you're going to come in my ring and you want to attack the Undisputed Era, fine by me. But when you stand in my ring and say that you're taking over, I got a problem. I'm like, dude, phenomenal time.
I love Tommaso Ciampa, and we'll get to the main event. But wow, the promo work between the OC and and Tommaso, very good. Next up, we had Pete Dunne going up against Damian Priest
With a fire entrance.
Yeah, Damian Priest's entrance this week was fantastic.
Just like appearing its different parts and then the arrow, dude. I love the arrow.
Yeah, I don't know. You told me you weren't a fan of the arrow at first.
I like the arrow now.
Did they get you?
They got me. I forgot. Cuerno who?
Yeah, who's Cuerno?
Who?
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Damian Priest.
Damian
Punishment
Priest.
Martinez.
Yeah, punishment priest, dude. I've had too many of those.
This match was a very, very solid match. Back and forth. Damian Priest really can go. And I thought Pete Dunne was going to be carrying this feud, but that's definitely not the case. They are 50-50 booking it, though, as Pete Dunne did go over this week.
With a low blow.
With a
scouted low blow.
Yeah, a scouted low blow. Pete Dunne blocked the referee, was going to go for a low blow. Pete Dunne grabbed his leg, low blow Damian Priest, and...
with a freaking crazy armbar finger breaker as a finish.
God.
And then out of nowhere, we get Killian Dane just showing up saying, I'm in this.
Yeah, well, I get it because
The finger
Pete Dunne,
breaking. He's selling the fingers.
his fingers are taped together. But Pete Dunne did break his fingers a couple weeks ago. So I guess this will set. I don't understand. Is this going to set up a triple threat? Because he did beat up both guys.
I think so. On their Instagram, they'd post who else wants a piece of Pete Dunne. It was like this, both of them on there. So I figured this was going to build some triple threat.
Yeah, so I mean that would be a great match. I'm kind of confused on the Killian Dane character right now, but I hope they kind of round up the story to kind of help me understand a little bit more. Next up, we had Tainara versus Santana Garrett.
A returning Santana Garrett.
Yeah. They kept saying, all right, Morrow. They kept saying,
I know.
They kept saying this was Santana's NXT debut match, but me and Joseph were thinking, and no, it's not.
No, we watched her wrestle a NXT match. It was like a squash-ass match against a Candice LeRae. She wrestled in the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know
the
what the
first
heck
one.
they were talking about.
So I don't know what you mean. It's first time in full. She's there in Full Sail a lot.
But this was a really good match. It was not a squash. I thought it was going to be a squash match for Tainara. Ended up being a really good match. Tainara goes over, and she's really good.
She really.
I really like
gonna be.
Tainara.
I think she's gonna. They actually teased earlier, like way earlier, in the forming of Undisputed Era, that she'd be the first female joiner of it, like the first member that was a female.
Of Undisputed Era?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. They
that'd
kind
be
of teased
sick.
it, but it'd be really. I think she'd do great.
Yeah. We also had all night. We had the women's war game match brought up, and each team actually needed one more member to join their stable for the actual match.
Which is great storytelling because I assumed it was just going to be like Maria and Jessica Duke joining Shayna Baszler, but they only have room for one more.
Yeah, and oh man, Jessamine Duke is
Jessica Duke is freaking
rough.
gnarly.
So basically all night.
Jessica
Rhea Ripley.
Duke looks like if you put flesh on the Metal Militia skeleton. That's what she looks like, dude.
Rough.
That's what she looks
That
like.
is rough. So all night we were kind of egging on this. Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler needed to find their fourth member of their tag teams.
Their War Games teams, yeah.
And so we had a couple women's matches, and it was mentioned in the Tainara match, like, is this going to be enough to let Rhea Ripley pick Tainara to be in her team, blah, blah, blah. That didn't end up happening, but like you said, great storytelling, keeping all the women involved, and giving these matches kind of some purpose.
Yeah. Which led to our next match, too.
Yeah, next match we have Baszler versus Dakota Kai. Again, Dakota Kai wanted to be in this match so bad because her buddy, Tegan Knox, is on Rhea Ripley's team. And me and Joseph both thought that Dakota Kai obviously would have been the right one to choose. Team Kick getting in there. I kind of like where they're going with this, though. Dakota Kai loses Shayna Baszler taps her out, middle of the ring. What's her finisher called?
It's not the
You think of Coquina Clutch?
I think it's the Coquina Clutch. No, it's the I
forgot it.
Yep, I forget it.
A rear naked choke.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different name for it, I guess. Yeah. But taps out Dakota Kai.
Oh, it's Karavuda Clutch.
The Karavuda Clutch, yeah.
Karavuda Clutch.
Shayna Baszler did impress me today. I'm usually not a fan.
I'm telling you,
she did put on a good match. But that could have been Dakota Kai too.
Could have been, but
Dakota Kai is a great wrestler as well. But she loses. Dakota Kai is obviously not the one that they want. And then we get kind of a brawl that happens in between, or that happens with the women.
Yeah, Kai's getting jumped after.
Yeah, Kai gets jumped by Jessamine Duke and Mira Shafira and Shayna Baszler. So then we have the rescue team come out of Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae, and Io Shirai comes out to help. It was a whole big mess. Everybody comes out. And then Mia Yim, out of nowhere with a kendo stick, comes and just starts
whipping.
Dude, Jessamine Duke has to be hurting.
Dude, all of them.
Kendo stick to bone.
Because she has no meat on them bones.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
And I think she got it the worst.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I think if anyone got it pretty bad, I think Bianca Belair got it pretty bad. She got it like upside the head.
She could take it though. Bianca Belair is pretty stiff, yeah.
Yeah, but that was great.
But Mia Yim comes out and just wrecks shop. The head baddie in charge, the worst gimmick ever invented. But we go to a backstage segment, and Rhea Ripley does indeed pick Mia Yim to join their team, and Dakota Kai just says like congratulations and walks off very sad.
Yeah, I said, it's great storytelling is they've not announced Shayna's other partner. If the day of War Games, they don't have a partner because no one wants to join her team, and it's Dakota Kai.
Turning on her
Tegan
friend Tegan Knox.
And all of them, and then they come out the winners.
I would love that.
I would too. That would be crazy because then it's just like
they're not going to do that.
We don't know.
I hope they do, but they're not.
Yeah, next up, we
had Garza versus the premier
I'm
athlete.
sick of Angel Garza.
I'm so sick of Angel Garza.
Come out with no pants. Don't come out or keep your pants on.
Yeah, or keep them on.
Just keep them on.
Also, dude asked the ugliest chick in the audience for a kiss.
I was saying, dude, he went up to this girl just like, "Hey, stranger, will you kiss me on the cheek?" And it's like
that was rude. I'm sorry.
No, she looked. She looked like to me though. It looked like that old Vine where it's like the back turning the.
Oh, that's exactly what she looked like.
And I was like, just a blonde hair version of that girl. I was like, who was that? Like, it was
so quick too. Like there was no hesitation. He was like, I was like, okay, all right.
So
she wanted some.
I was just thought, okay, dude, whatever. I get he's part of this famous Garza family.
I don't care.
I don't care either. Him is number one contender for Lio Rush. It's going to be a good match, but Lio Rush better take it.
Yeah. Angel Garza does go over on Tony Nese. And on the way out, Lio Rush comes to kind of shake his hand and say, like, all right, I'll see you at TakeOver. No, I'll see you next week on NXT. And Angel Garza looks at his hand and just smacks the taste out of Lio Rush's mouth and walks off. And Lio Rush doesn't really retaliate. He just says, all right, now it's on. Now it's on.
I like that, though.
I like it, too. It kind of gives some character to Angel.
Yep.
Like he said, it's going to be a great match. Next up, we had Dominik Dijakovic, or as Mauro Morello.
Morello. He's rubbing off on you.
Mauro Ranello would say.
Yep. Dominik Dijakovic. Dominik Dijakovic.
Dude, I cracked him so bad when Mauro said that, dude. But he can have some slip-ups. He's a great commentator. But we had Dominik Dijakovic versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. And this actually surprised me because I thought that Swerve was just going to get squashed.
Well, you didn't see, Dylan. You didn't see. That was Isaiah Swerve Scott in human form. Do you see? Because Dominik Dijakovic looks like, and his whole Feast Your Eyes, we were talking about, just feels like Red Dragon. Like, I was just waiting for when he does that Feast Your Eyes. Like, I want him to cut a promo for once. They're going to be like, what do you think? Keith Lee in human form. Do you see? This is Keith Lee transforming. Do you see? This is Keith Lee transformed, reborn. Do you see? And I'm just like,
so creepy, dude.
So creepy, and he looks just like him. But I like Dominik Dijakovic a lot. I liked Red Dragon. It was a good movie for its time.
Yeah.
But also Isaiah Swerve Scott is so. This match was actually really underrated.
I think it was probably my match of the night
It was match of the night for sure.
on NXT.
I thought it was a match of the night in both shows.
Let me look.
Look at this. Look at the card. I think it was match of the night in both shows.
Yeah, I think the only one that would come close is Private Party Dark Order.
Exactly, but I'm saying like, dude, there was that 1-6 spot where he turned. Dijakovic is not small, and he inside out to him. Dominik inside out swerve. He like
No
sells it and double foot stomps him in the back of the head.
Yeah, right in his face on the ground, dude.
Such a good match. We get Dominik out of nowhere picking up the feast your eyes do you see, and then winning the match here. Great contest.
He's a really good wrestler. Dominik Dijakovic. He's great.
Do you see?
I see.
Okay.
I see now.
Do you see?
So at the end of this, we had Team Champa, which is Tommaso Ciampa, Matt Riddle, and bask in his glory, Keith Lee. Also, I love the chant that they're doing for him. Oh, bask in his glory. I love it.
Well, I like one of the things I love too is because since they've been a tag team, kind of him and Riddle, that the crowd did it last week and even in SmackDown, they do the "Oh, basket is glory, bro." I think it's so tight.
So we had Team Ciampa going up against the OC. And like we said earlier, this match ended in a no contest for probably the third week in a row.
Do you see what you're doing to me? Stop it. Stop.
Let somebody go over.
Pull up your pants, creative, and do the muscle man dance. Do something, okay? Something. It's better to be active than not to be active, as I've learned at Wyatt Gym.
Wow, this is really changing your perspective on life, isn't it?
It really is. I'm just not some huskus pig boy that likes no contest.
That's right.
I like finishes.
Tell him, baby.
I like finishes. But yeah, it was a good, kind of cool ending.
It was a good match until it wasn't.
It was a good match until it wasn't. That's the best way to say it. We get the cool spot of Keith Lee launching AJ to the referee, and we're like, geez, that was actually a bump, so he's dead.
Yeah.
In the world of referees being the most fragile things in the world, he's dead.
Keith Lee, if you get bumped by Keith Lee, that ref's never getting up.
Yeah, so they have this little segment here, and out of nowhere, which really excited us, Finn Balor shows up.
He's such a tease.
He is such a tease.
Who's bigger tease, him or Randy?
It's him.
It has to be
It's
him.
always been him, too. Because he did that for the call-ups.
Yep.
He did that for his return. He did that for teasing the demon.
He even did that when he was coming to NXT.
Exactly. He's
Dude,
a huge tease. So Homeboy shows up and out of nowhere just delivers a scorching DDT again like he did to Johnny Gargano to Matt Riddle. And all of a sudden, AJ in the ring looks on in the ring and puts his too sweet up, and Finn Balor just hits him with the finger gun point to him. And this is something that's ironic because a lot of people would say, oh my gosh, he's a part of the OC now, or he aligns with them. But, I mean, not to be a wrestling snob, but whenever Finn Balor would point his finger guns when he was in the Bullet Club, that was his next victim.
Yeah.
So it didn't really point anything in the sense of like, I'm aligning with you, because he didn't give him the too sweet, gave him the finger guns. But then immediately as he goes for the Styles Clash on Tommaso Ciampa.
Matt Riddle.
Or Matt Riddle. No, Matt Riddle was outside because he got DDT'd. So was Ciampa.
Didn't Champa get DDT'd?
No, it was Matt Riddle.
So Champa got the Styles Clash.
So he went to get the Styles Clash. And then out of nowhere, Adam Cole alone just super kicks AJ to high heaven.
I'm surprised that AJ Styles didn't get knocked out.
Yeah,
this was like a stiff kick.
Stiff super kick. And then he super kicks some more people. And he then looks on Finn Balor, and Finn Balor stares on. And again, alluding to which symbol and which kind of hand gesture are you going to get from Finn Balor, if any?
Yeah.
And NXT goes off the air.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments whether you think the Finn Balor is going to join the OC or join the Undisputed Era, or neither.
Yeah.
Because I think it's neither.
I think he's going with the Undisputed Era.
So we had a very good NXT. We had a very good AEW. Big Joe Yarbrough. Who takes the cake on this week's Wednesday Night Wars?
I would ask that you do not use the term cake, as I am no longer trying to be a fat pig boy. I am trying to do the muscle
Who
man
takes the Morning Star sausage patty on this week's Wednesday Night Wars?
Sausage patty. No. Jeez.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, it is Morningstar, so it's vegetarian.
He's also pork.
It doesn't matter. Sausage
It's all
is pork.
family.
Sausage is pork.
No.
Yeah, sausage
it?
is pork.
Dude, I don't eat it, dude. I'm vegan.
Shut up. You're so liar. You're such a liar.
Go ahead, dude.
For me, the winner of this week actually, NXT did a great job with the kind of shock and awe of the OC and the Survivor Series angle, but AEW wins.
I think AEW wins too.
AEW wins. The build-up and the ending, it was a good go-home show. And I think next week might be the week that NXT really actually pulls ahead because of the fact that it's a go-home show for them.
And let me tell you why NXT didn't win for me this week was the lack of WWE talent on the NXT show.
Absolutely. How are you going to be Seth Rollins? How are you going to be Daniel Bryan's? How are you going to be Bailey's and Sasha's? And
everybody who got whooped on WWE television
Iconics.
and just didn't show up to defend yourself on NXT.
Only the OC shows up?
Yeah.
And they've never even been in NXT.
Which was tight. I will give them that.
Yeah.
That was sick.
But, like, you got to tell me, dude, with that Seth Rollins angle, dude, you got to show up on NXT.
And tell me, all those ex-NXT talent, they would have got a freaking pop if they would have showed up.
100%. And you got a Balor there as well. You've got Seth showing up would be huge.
Seth, Sami Zayn, Bayley, Becky Lynch, any of them. Iconics.
Exactly. And we were just saying, like, it just goes to show, like, man, it was not good on their part. Only 3 people you could have flown out there. Like,
Yeah.
not a good. That's where I agree that. Also for me, it was again the backstage segments and the promo ability, like the entertaining part. NXT feels still some like, I know it sounds bad, but there's a part of it that just feels like an independent wrestling show televised.
A little bit.
And AEW is a production. Like Cody's promo was moving.
Cody's promo was moving. We had Chris Jericho's video segment,
Entertaining.
which was it was entertaining, but also the video work of that. It wasn't just a backstage segment. It was an actual pre-recorded production or produced video.
Yeah, I just think that what's cool about it is it's entertaining. It adds to story. Cody's thing was so serious, and the build is so great. And man, I can't tell you, one of the best parts about it is I'm excited for Survivor Series. I'm not, oh my God, I can't wait for Survivor Series, but I'm excited to watch it because there's the potential for them to not mess it up.
Yeah.
We talked about this Survivor Series might be one of the
best.
best. But again, there's the might with how booking has gone.
Yeah.
When I saw Jon Moxley walk through that crowd with a baseball bat and barbed wire, and again, they faced off with the barbed wire and the broom, I thought, I'm going to get it. And I didn't get it. So I have to watch on Saturday because I want to see that spot. I want to see what they do when they face up. I want to see the bloodbath. I want to see Kenny Omega bring his hard-hitting style, and I want to see John try to beat the best wrestler in the world, sanctioned or unsanctioned. I think it's such a good storytelling. I just can't wait. And I want it now. I want to see more than anything. I don't care about the NXT because the thing is about after Survivor Series, NXT win, lose, draw with, no contest. There's no draw really. Win or lose or no contest for the NXT Raw versus SmackDown, which I don't know how they're going to do that. I realize like the traditional 5-man, or is it an 8-man?
No, it'd be 5 on 5 on 5.
Yeah, 15 people in there. Jesus.
And it would be elimination style.
Yeah, I don't. At the end of this this pay-per-view, we all just go back to normal.
Yeah.
With AEW, we don't. Cody, I got to see how Cody wins or loses or how they build this. So I give it to AEW.
Yeah, and you were saying AEW does a fantastic job. Like me and you both think that Chris Jericho is arguably the greatest wrestler of all time.
I would say he's the greatest. Yeah.
But God, do I want Cody to win?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
they're so good at making you hate the heel and love the babyface,
and also just and still be invested in the heel.
Yeah,
with a little bit of the bubbly, with the way that they just jump people, the way that he just the way he talks, he looks, even the way he just dresses obnoxiously, just flashy sequin tuxedo jackets only, no shirt.
I love it.
And he's just the best, and it's getting closer and closer. But I'm eager to see there were some recent NXT signings that they showed that were impressive, but you still have Marty Scurll out there. You've got, you re-signed a Randy Orton, but there's a Nakamura who's coming up. You've got Luke Harper. You got a bunch of people who reportedly... Zack Sabre Jr. You have a bunch of people who are coming off their contracts and a lot of people who asked for releases because of the Saudi Arabia incident. You have low morale back there.
We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, there's just so much going on. I think AEW has a chance to really capitalize, but also WWE and NXT have a chance to really make up some ground and go head to head. But I'm eager to see. I'm eager to see the ratings.
Yeah, me too.
But I think I'm not shocked to see that AEW might win it again.
Yeah, not at all. I know they both went up against 2 primetime NBA games today on TNT. No, on ESPN.
ESPN, yeah, because TNT
Obviously had Dynamite. So,
but yeah, that is ours. And let us know in the comments below whether you agree, disagree, and this has been Degeneration XL podcast. I've been Big Joe Yarbrough.
And I am Dylan Pack. And again, we appreciate you guys checking into these videos and supporting us. And again, on the Degeneration XL podcast, we bring you all things wrestling all around the world. We really appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next video.